to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your beautiful comments, and thank you so much for entering for your chance to win a free reading with me. A big congratulations to this month's winner. And I've been drawing multiple names each month, so I will be drawing another name very soon. So be sure to drop your comment below and hit your notification bell system so that I can enter you for your chance to win, and so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. And if you find yourself here for the very first time, we would love to have you join us. So please subscribe and drop your comment below so that I can enter you for your chance to win too. But also please join us, grab yourself some snacks, get cozy, and we'll have a little chat because we are all friends when we gather here at my table. And I do pick a card readings on this channel. Today's pick a card reading, we're looking at you versus them and your feelings. We're going to do a comparison on what is the truth of this connection between your feelings versus their feelings. And I have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 here with the zebra spirit and the hagstone. Pile number 2 with the octopus spirit and the desert rose. And pile number 3 with the elephant spirit here and the stone cross. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting from Spirit today. And I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today's topic is all about you versus the person on your mind. What's the truth that lies in the middle? How do you feel? How do they feel? And what is the truth of this connection? Pile number 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the hagstone, or perhaps to the zebra spirit, and this is your reading. What is the truth of this connection? You versus them. We're going to compare feelings today, but we're starting with the zebra spirit. And when I think about the zebra, I think about someone hiding in the grass. So I think about someone who's trying to blend in. And I feel like there could be a watchful element. So you could be watching this person. Maybe they're watching you as well. But it's about someone who's like trying to blend in, even though there's danger associated with the zebra too, because it's this fight or flight animal. So we'll see how that flows into your reading today. We're going to start with your feelings for them first over here, and then we're going to compare it to their current feelings for you. So what is the truth of this connection? What are your current feelings for this person? What is the truth? And I feel like there is it's like the zebra is black and white, right? And there's a sense of things are not always just black and white. There are complications. It's not just it is what it is. It's just there are complications perhaps here as well. But let's take a look at your current feelings for this person. Knight of Cups. The 6 of Wands. I feel like this is a connection that's always made you feel a little bit vulnerable, and I feel like it's like you're hesitant to admit that to yourself or to other people as well. I feel like there was moments in the past of this connection where it's almost like you were so insecure about letting yourself be seen by this person, and you know now that you kind of made a mistake there. Like it was just youthful vulnerability that contributed to that feeling, and you wish that you could have had the confidence to conquer that in the past of this connection when things were more easily shifted, perhaps. Because you definitely wear masks in your environment now. You act confident when there is this sense of not feeling that confident in your present position, not feeling confident with the decisions that led you here, and still feeling really strongly connected to the person on your mind that we're going to be talking about, because time and space has perhaps taught you that there was destiny here that we ignored, because 6 of Cups is on the back of the deck so far for you, pile 1. And that's a friendship that should have moved forward potentially. There's such an innocence surrounding the connection itself too. Here's the Death. And you may have this opinion of the situation that if you had just did one thing, if there had just been one slight change in the history of your connection together, that everything would have turned out differently. Differently. But there was a hesitation. You can see in both of these cards, the horse is not completing the cycle. The horse is afraid to put that hoof down. There's this intimidation to be vulnerable. There is this intimidation to move into new cycles. And now you may be sort of kicking yourself for that. Yeah, you feel like you chose poorly and you didn't choose the path that was going to lead you to abundance. There's a lot of themes that this person has helped to bring forward as far as your necessity for learning and growth and awareness. Some of those, I feel like some of the lessons have been painful, and I still feel like despite time and space between you, there's still a really strong magnetic attraction that pulls you, and you wonder if it's mutual. It's like you wonder if it's mutual, if they feel the same way. There does feel to be some sort of temptation for you and for this person potentially too, but we'll get there to their side in a moment. You have the Five of Wands. And I do feel like still there's a jealousy that might permeate how you feel about this person, because you're like, that's my person. There's the Two of Cups. And you're like, I see the truth now. I see the truth now. There should have been more here. This should not have just been a friendship. If that was the case, this should have moved into more. And now there feels like challenges. It could even, some of these challenges could involve competition, for instance. But there's almost this wondering, this lingering energy of like, oh, are we actually finished here? Or is fate going to actually bring us back together? Because there's this essence of like, I don't think that we're finished. Or we don't want to be finished at this time. And it makes me wonder if you're watching them as well, if you're keeping a little bit of a tab on them. They could be a Libra energy here. And you may have privy information, because you could be watching them, about the dynamics of their current status, for instance, their current relationships, if they have one. And you may be sort of wishing that they would reach out to you. But it could be because of their complications that they don't feel like they can reach out to you. So you wonder if it's really one-sided or if they're going to reach out to you. But let's take a look at their feelings for you, their current feelings. And we'll see if there's similarities here. We already have the Queen of Swords. How do they currently feel, please, towards pile number 1? What are their truest feelings here? The Eight of Swords. I feel like for you, it's almost like the Divine Feminine is expecting for the Divine Masculine to reach out to them. That's the hope or the expectation. How do they currently feel, please, for pile number 1? The Six of Pentacles. Back of the deck, we already have the Five of Cups. They feel a lot of loss from the past as well. They reflect on the past quite a bit concerning you. But they kind of feel a little bit stuck in their decisions too. I feel like they feel less confident maybe than you do. Here's the Five of Wands. Three of Cups and the Sun. Oh, they really would love to have reunions with you. It's like they are saying to me, I want to be reunited with my friend. It's like, I miss my friend. And it's like they want to shed some light on that too, on the true depth of their feelings, on the true depths. And they think about you a lot in regards to like the past and even childlike energy. So you may have gone to school with this person or really grown up with them as well. They feel jealous when it comes to you, and they feel like there could be competition for you. So there's a very definite similarity there. The Nine of Pentacles. There is a feeling at this moment that they don't want to move forward and communicate with you because they don't want to create any type of upheaval or discomfort in your environment. And they feel like you're sort of out of their league or something at this moment. We have the Queen of Wands and we have the Six of Wands reversed. And there's the Star. You feel very far away from this person, so you could even geographically, you could be geographically pretty far away. And the Six of Wands reverse is a lack of confidence and not feeling like you want to hear from them even. There's a definite similarity between your expectation for them to reach out and their expectation or hope that you'll reach out, because it's not that they have expectations. That's the difference here, is they don't have expectations to you reaching out. They feel like you're happy. If they're watching you, they wonder if you're happy. They feel like you must be secure in your position, and they feel stuck in their environment, and they feel stuck with the choices that they made leading themselves here. There's this sense of strong attraction though, and it almost a little bit intimidated by you in the past and even presently because of the energy that you expel, like you are just a force. I feel like you walk into a room and people take notice of that. And so that makes them feel smaller. Not that you're doing anything to precipitate that. That just makes them feel less secure. What's the truth of this connection, please? How do they currently feel? We have here, you deserve love. You are lovable. It's reverse. And that's what I feel like they don't think. They don't think that they deserve you. They don't think that they deserve that. And they may feel like because they didn't take certain steps, I should say, they couldn't power through their worry and fear, that they don't deserve it now. But we have give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. And we have deception. They're wearing a false mask as well. So if you're wearing a false mask and they're wearing a false mask in their environment, there's definitely fluid energies there. And they do wish for the same things. Like they do ultimately want this relationship. But I feel like even in the past, they wondered if they thought it was more them towards you and not so much your interest towards them. And they were wearing masks in their environment. They're still wearing masks when it comes to you and your influence. What is the truth of this connection, please, Spirit? How do they currently feel about pile number 1? We have here co-create and orphaned on the back of the deck. And this really reminds me of the 5 of Pentacles. It's like feeling left behind and feeling overlooked, feeling abandoned a little bit. And there is a deep friendship that I'm sensing, even above the emotional or romantic connection. There's a deep friendship here that I feel like you both feel that loss. I almost feel it in my heart right now, just this deep sense of loss there, because underneath all of physical attractions and sexual connections and things of that nature, we are all emotional beings that are connected regardless of those other dynamics. And there's just a deep sense of loss here from that friendship. There is a definite cohesion here between what they think could have happened between the two of you had there been just a slight bit of confidence or one leap of faith. They definitely feel that, but they also wonder about potential that still exists. And there's the cheetah. They're acknowledging that if they had this opportunity to sort of show up beautifully in their life again in some sort of magical way, that they wouldn't want to waste that opportunity. What are their current feelings, please, for pile number 1? We have here, it was my fault, but I blamed you. They for a time told themselves that you were too intimidating, or you weren't making your feelings known, or they went through these cycles of passing the blame as to what brought the two of you into this state. And it says, I love you. I knew exactly what I was doing. It's like they can pinpoint the moment everything went wrong. They can pinpoint the moment where they lost control of the situation and they lost their opportunity. I know that I was a distraction from your pain. And that really shines a light on this card where he's looking at her and she's looking away. It's like, I know I wasn't good enough for you. And that's a self-deprecation. That's not the truth. That's just them assuming. That's their lack of confidence coming because they feel they pale in comparison to you. I left you before you could leave me. A trauma response. And we both know that I'm not the one for you. But that's not what you feel. You feel very destined towards this person. But I think that this person's not as spiritually grounded as you are or spiritually aware as you are either. So that's a deficit. I feel you leaving me behind. So if they're watching you, they're perceiving something online media perhaps, that is making them feel like you are feeling good, looking good. It's like you carry yourself and you present this picture to the world of security and happiness. So they don't want to mess that up. I feel like they're really worried about messing it up. Let's get a couple more message cards here before we do your charm bowl. How do they currently feel right this moment, please? I fell so hard and so fast for you. It feels very innocent and very crush-like. And I remember every detail of you. Do I think about you too much? And you have probably moved on, a question mark. It's like you've probably moved on. They tell themselves this so that they don't have to act because it's easier not to. I lie about my feelings for you, and they definitely lied about their feelings for you. And I feel like that's mutual too. I think you didn't share how you felt here. What are you doing right now? Back of the deck says, you make it so easy to fall in love with you. And I feel like they had this belief or this feeling that other people saw that too. So they felt like there was competition for you as well. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1. The truth of this connection in the bowl. True feelings revealed. What are their thoughts right this moment? What do they wish they could say to pile number 1? They feel so stuck, and they really want to communicate with you, but they feel so stuck in this rut. Some of their hope is starting to wane about being able to create solutions, and that's because they're not feeling confident. And when we're feeling a lack of confidence, it's impossible to create positive solutions for ourselves. They wish that some sort of change would happen. This 7 of Cups is reversed. They have a lot of confusion about whether you feel the same way, but there is this sense of things coming to light, clarity coming and restored sense coming in. And it's like, I know I need to speak to you in order to do that. And they really wish that they could communicate with you, but they feel like there's a real imbalance. They don't want to create imbalance or havoc in your environment or in their environment. I feel like more heavily like you're trying to keep tabs on them online. Oh, we have the 3 of Cups here, friendship. And want, the word want. We have the slow handsaw, so a very slow realization, or things moved too slowly in the past as well, in a state of friendship, even though there was more want than that. We have a little girl on a bicycle, so decisions we made in youth. We have Chanel number 5. I think about the 5 of Wands. I think about movement forward. I also think about attraction. We have the letter J in the bowl. Pisces energy with the fish. We have the glass, the measuring cup, and I think about somebody who has a pessimistic attitude, a glass half empty versus half full. We do have the 2 of Cups with the 2 of Hearts, so someone who wants a relationship, and 7 of Pentacles. So impatience and patience. I feel like there's been a long disconnect here for somebody watching. We also have the 4 of Wands in the bowl. And the owl, someone who's looked at things from a higher perspective, very strong air element. They could be Libra energy here with the King of Swords. And the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is a gateway to celebration. And it usually is a beautiful celebration of connection, happiness. It can really talk about marriages and relationships blooming, and that's where they feel like they went wrong. They feel like they're taking a pause in their journey now, wondering what could have been built with you. And I feel like that's a very mutual energy between the 2 of you. That is what I have for you today, pile number 1. If that resonated with you, I would love to hear your story below in the comment section, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit your notification bell, your like button, and drop me that comment so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can check out my Instagram link below actually as well, because I offer opportunities on there to win free reads as well. And I offer private readings through my Etsy link, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile 2. You are drawn to the Desert Rose, or perhaps to the Octopus Spirit, and this is your reading, a you versus them reading. How are you currently feeling versus their current feelings for you? What's the truth of this connection at the moment? The octopus, you can see all of the tentacles. I think about things suction, like a suction cup to the past that holds us back here. You can see that the crown chakra is all lit up, and I think about this really strong intelligence with the octopus and somebody who's really creative. So this person could be a fire sign. They could also have air elements as well, but they're always thinking about you potentially, but you could also be experiencing this. Also with the octopus, there's 8 tentacles, which is talking about putting an effort into something and gaining mastery over our emotions. So you may have a difficult time moving forward from this connection, and also they may experience the same sort of restrictions and hesitations. So let's take a look here and see We're going to start with your current feelings for this person, and then we're going to compare them to your person's current energies. So how do you currently feel about this person at the moment? Pile number 2. And the desert rose, the desert energy, it's like there's thirst here. There's exhaustion associated with it as well for me. And the Rose of Hope. We have the 4 of Swords. How are you currently feeling about this person? The Knight of Wands. You have the 5 of Coins. It's coming out with the Justice. Back of the deck is already the Ace of Coins. I feel like you really wish that you could communicate with this person, and I feel like you're feeling the loss a lot extra lately, the separation. It's like it's really hitting you a lot harder for some reason. The Knight of Cups. There is a similar energy here to pile 1 in the sense that I feel like you didn't take risks with this person in the past. It almost feels like you thought you had a little bit more time to work with, and that the time just sort of slipped away. And there was a real hesitation to be really vulnerable here. The 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. But I feel like you feel a lot of pressure to communicate, and that's why maybe you're attracted to this reading today, because you're wondering if they also are feeling that pressure, or perhaps that's their influence on you. If there's some sort of connection between the two of you that's permeating this necessity. It's like, it feels like a necessity. It's like I'm feeling impulsive. I'm feeling like I need to speak and I need to express something. But there's also a slight danger associated with that unknown about what are the consequences if I give in to my pressure and my temptation. There's a really strong Sagittarius vibe with you at this moment. But it's like you're really drawn for clarity. It's like you really feel impulsive towards getting some sort of clarity here. We have the Knight of Swords. Back of the deck is the 9 of Coins. And we have the Temperance. I do feel like there is a significant delay here, a significant disconnect between the two of you. It could be a couple of years even, maybe even a little bit more for someone watching, because the Temperance is talking about finding a balance amidst this delay, and you've had time to think about this person. You've had time to kind of mull over where you went wrong, where they went wrong, and now there's like this necessity to speak. There's a necessity to iron everything out, because we've hit this point here with the 5 of Pentacles. It's acknowledging the physical separation, and how you're both in the same boat, and there's so much unanswered questions about the connection itself. There's so many unanswered truths that want to be seen, that want to come to light, and it's like we want those truths. But there is also, I feel like in your current situation, I feel like there are realities that we can't, you know, gloss over, and I think that there's a certain amount of grief surrounding that too, because I feel like speaking to them or getting a hold of them and getting to express how you feel, I feel like there are really added complications if you take that step, and that's also I feel like on your mind, and why you're hesitating to give in to this impulse of connection, of communication. Because this Knight of Swords, he wants to charge in recklessly, but the Justice is sitting in front of him saying you can't right now, because what are the consequences to our environment if you act upon this impulse? So you may be feeling very impulsive towards this person right now, even though there's risk involved to the foundations that you actually have built up at this time. But there's something that's really holding you back from being able to break through, so that you can feel the healing. Because with the 4 of Swords starting your reading, that means that we're not healed yet, and that we need help doing so, or that we need more steps to be taken to be able to achieve that healing. So I feel like you're feeling really impulsive towards contact here. But let's take a look on the other side and see what is going on with them. How do they currently feel for pile number 2, please? Ooh. King of Wands. Sagittarius energy with the 2 of Wands. This person like fantasizes about you a lot, actually. They could be that fire element. They could have fire in their chart as well. We also have Libra energy. We have the Page of Swords. Now for someone watching, you could have gone to school with this person in some sort of capacity. But I also feel like this person could be kind of watching a little bit. Ace of Wands. Back of the deck is the Devil, Capricorn. Let's clarify this message. How do they currently feel for pile number 2, please? The Ace of Pentacles. You know, they're feeling really driven to speak to you too. The pressure that you're expressing over here isn't as strong at this moment, but there's a strong focus with this King of Wands to communicate. They fantasize about new beginnings and new opportunities with you too, and they wonder if you feel intensely the way that they feel. They are maintaining this watcher position though, and this flame, this cane that's up against the wall, it's casting this big shadow because they're worried about fueling the fire that they still feel, here. We have here the Ace of Swords, and back of the deck is the 9 or the 10 of Wands with the Knight of Wands. Now the 10 of Wands of the back of deck energy is really talking about feeling exposed, and that pressure that you feel, the impulse that you feel, it's extrapolated over here now with the 10 of Wands. It's somebody who is feeling a lot of pressure because of all of these wands that have to be leaned up against the wall. It's like I have all of these wands that I have to put up on the wall, and they're nowhere to direct them. It's creating a frustration that I now have to tame. It's like they're stopping themselves from actually communicating with you too. They're stopping themselves because they don't want, there's a reality here that hits them hard. For someone watching, I feel like you could be a parent, so take that as it resonates. And that could be one of the reasons. But there's this reality that hits them hard. They're like, I wonder if it's too late. This Ace of Swords is a truth, is a new beginning, is a fresh perspective, but it's also the scythe, which stings a little bit. You know, it's a clear cutter. But this is supporting the Ace of Wands. This is supporting this flame that's still in place, and so they're on this fence about whether or not they should keep that flame lit and keep applying the pressure. But they are also pressured by the unknown, and they don't want to wreck anything that's going on over here. They don't want to wreak havoc for you. That could be one of the inclinations. I feel like you're really more intuitive than you realize, and you do pick up on other people's emotions, and that's why you're feeling that intensity over here. You're sensing they're watching. You're sensing this necessity for clearance or for clarity between the two of you, because that's very, very mutual. And you can pick up on it because you have a spiritual gift that you could be very empathic, for instance. But they are watching you. They are feeling still this intensity. It's like nothing's changed for them as far as the desire for you. How do they currently feel, please? You have the Quill, getting back to basics. They do fantasize about a do-over. And that's I feel like where reality hits them. I think that when we have these lessons that come in from the past about lack of action that leads us to the current state of insecurity and fear, many people will just be like, well, I wish I could go back in time and do that over again. Instead of applying that lesson to the present moment and acting accordingly, moving forward, they wish that they could go back to the past. Whoops. On the floor, we have horseshoe, good luck, and we also have a change for the better, because there is this momentum with the Ace of Wands, with the Ace of Swords. There's a momentum of like, we need to get some clarity here. We need to get some clarity here. And there is a certain amount of conditioning that this Knight of Wands is. The Knight of Wands is just feeling like he wants movement. He's risky sometimes. He takes risks. And they are considering that. They're making these fantastical tentative plans about executing change. We also have here Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. And we also have dealings or relationship with an older woman. So you perhaps are slightly older, for instance, or they could be in a dynamic where they're currently dealing with something like that. But they seem to have intent to reach out to you in some sort of way. How do they currently feel, please? What's the truth of this connection? We have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And that's what they feel. They feel like they only scratched the surface of what could have been. because they didn't get a chance to be vulnerable, to start to explore the emotional component of your connection. It says, express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So your person, that intensity you feel, the impulse that you've been feeling lately for movement, despite the consequences, that feels like a connection here. They want to express something to you and they are intent on it. In fact, to make the effort. Great love is worth the steps you're guided to take. And that's the inspiration that they've gained through watching you, I feel, is this beautiful Queen of Cups is worth every step I'm guided to take to go towards that good heart. You could be a water energy here, but I love that card. I just think it's so sweet, the Divine Masculine reaching out in such an innocent way. And it really sparks the innocence of your connection itself as well. It really speaks to it. How does your person currently feel, please? I go home all to myself. So loneliness. I also think of the Hermit with the number 9 about making tentative plans. So I feel like this person is keen on some sort of clarity in the very least. You give me a heart on. I laugh every time I see that card. It makes me think of the Knight of Cups. Somebody who is flirtatious, perhaps in a sexual way, in order to deflect from emotional connections. Like they tend to flirt to mask some of the emotional feelings that they have. I thought I had more time, and I'm really, really sorry. Oh, and I wish that I had made better choices when it came to you. They're so sorry that they weren't strong enough. I was the happiest I've ever been. And that's a truth that kind of cuts them deep a little bit now, because they've experienced a lot of loneliness, a lot of isolation. Even if they're not alone, they still feel lonely in their environment. And so they're acknowledging that they're realizing now that this brought them a lot of joy, made them feel good. The King of Cups on the back of the deck says, I love you. But it also says, I heart you, because I also feel like this person does really worry about being vulnerable and looking weak. How do they currently feel about pile 2, please? You are a goddess. And it's all about energy, has nothing to do with gender. So they just think that you are at the top tier. I miss you regardless of how everything looks on the outside. It's always been you. You have sent me mixed signals in the past. I also feel like this person sent mixed signals, though. I feel like the two of you were kind of equally guilty in that realm. You drive me crazy. Oops, and on the floor. No one knows I still think about you. But the truth is that you still and always have taken my breath away. Because you are a goddess. Let us get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. If your person could say anything to you right this moment, what would they say for pile 2? King of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. We have the 3 of Cups. We have the 4 of Pentacles reversed. They would tell you that if this was a friendship in the past, they didn't know if you felt anything more than friendship, and their insecurity wouldn't allow them to power through with any type of plan that they had. But they've gained in experience, they've gained in confidence, and they now feel a lot of fire built underneath them to create some sort of solution towards reunions. And that's what they are focusing on right now, is trying to make a plan towards reunions, because they're trying to protect the connection. And they're a little bit possessive over you too. We have the letter A. We also have Cancer energy in the bowl. We have Taurus as well. I also have the Skull and Crossbones. I think about Capricorn energy. I think about somebody who is experiencing a negative attachment, who maybe needs to release from one, but also about codependency. So a very similar vibe between the two of you. We have the Iron, ironing things out, needing to break through, needing to have conversations. We have Leo energy with the Strength and Infinity. We have the Frog, and I think about feminine energy that's very intuitive. So that intuition that you're picking up on, that's you, that's picking up on this desire for communication, and you can feel the momentum of them. We have Heartbreak here We also have Our Lady in the bowl. I think of the Queen of Cups, a very feminine, watery energy, motherhood. We have the Turtle, the Knight of Pentacles, slow moving energy, very slow moving, but dependable energy. And we have the Hatchet, releases, and we also have a penny, and the penny is from 1977. All right, pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. If it did, I'd love to hear your story below, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please hit your like button, your notification bell, so that I can enter you in for a chance to free reading, and so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. I also offer opportunities to win free readings over on my Instagram page, so you can check out that link below. And I offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below. It does sell out really quickly. I do post every weekday, so be sure to keep checking back and send me a little message. I can help you to navigate the Etsy system. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the Stone Cross or to the Elephant, and this is your reading. A you versus them reading. What are your current feelings versus your person's current feelings? What is the truth of this connection? The Elephant is about endurance and strength. It's about shining a light in the darkness. You can see this poor thing is carrying that flame through the darkness, leading the course. It's missing a tusk. It's been through hell. And so there's a lot of endurance in this connection. For some of you, it may be a very old soul contract, for instance, but it also just shows a lot of effort put into the maintenance. And if you were drawn to the Stone Cross too, when you think about crosses that we bear, and you know, the heaviness of that as well. So they feel like this is a connection that they are maintaining in their minds, or perhaps you are as well, but it could be like a cross to bear. It's like, this is a torch that I'm bringing through the darkness no matter what. So let's see. Let's start with your current feelings first. How are you currently feeling about this person? And then we'll compare your feelings to their current feelings and see if there is some mutual energy between the two of you, some truth that we can see. So how does pile number 3, 8 of Wands, currently feel about their person on their mind? The Emperor, the 8 of Cups. Back of the deck, we already have the 6 of Pentacles. Let's clarify this message. How do you currently feel about this person? I feel like there's this desire, the really strong wish inside of you to communicate. And I really feel like you hope that they will reach out to you. Like there's such a strong impulse of like, I'm just waiting for them. I've been walking through the darkness, waiting for to meet up in that darkness. I'm waiting for an opportunity. We have the Knight of Swords. Because I feel like there's a lot that has been left unsaid for the two of you too. The Strength. And the Judgment. It feels like you're waiting for a new day to start here. Back of the deck is the 5 of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. Like there's this feeling, restlessness that I'm feeling. It's like we're trying to do this. We're trying to endure in the darkness. We're trying to make it through the dark period where there is perhaps no contact at all. And we're trying to maintain our hope and our objective and our strength despite the ego fueling all of these fears at us, all of these worries at us, making us feel restless, making us not feel very secure in our position. There's a feeling of you not really knowing, feeling like this is a really intense connection, but not really knowing if this person feels the same way about you. There's very strong Taurus and Leo energy here. So you may find that that has some synchronicity to you or to your person as well. There's this wish and desire to have spoken up but I feel like I ran out of time. It's like I wish I'd spoken up, but I didn't in time. Or someone in this connection didn't speak up in time. And now this judgment energy, it's like revelations coming in. It's like epiphanies coming in throughout this no contact, where you're able to come up with everything you want to say. I feel like you have everything that you want to say packed up and ready to go for when this person perhaps reaches out. But I feel like you're waiting for that perspective to come and return to you. You're waiting for them to reveal something to you. And there's even jealousy. I feel like you get a little bit jealous still when you think about this person. Whether you wonder if they're in another relationship or if they are in another relationship, you may feel really jealous, even though you feel like you don't necessarily have a right to be, but you may feel that jealousy creeping in for them at times too. Let's take a look here at their current feelings for you. I do feel like you want them to reach out. And there's the Page of Cups. There's the Knight of Wands. What are they currently feeling, please, for pile number 3? Very strong Sagittarius energy here with this Knight of Wands, actually. The Three of Swords. Back of the deck is the Strength. There's the Leo energy. How do they currently feel, please? They think about reaching out to you too. But it's risky. I feel like it's risky for your person, for someone watching. It's risky for them for a myriad of reasons, potentially. It's risky for them because they fear the unknown and how they're going to be received. It's risky for them because of the burdens that they carry in life and the positions that they carry in life as well. Here's the Eight of Wands. I will say this, the energy between the two of you is very, very mutual. I don't feel like they're necessarily waiting for you to reach out to them. You may be feeling that you want them to reach out to you. I feel like they're thinking about reaching out to you, but there's some sort of cogs in the wheel here that don't really allow them to take that risk at this moment. I also feel like for someone watching, there's a significant distance between the two of you. A physical distance. We have here the Four of Swords. Yeah. Back of the deck is the Emperor, and this is the female Emperor here in this deck. This deck is interesting because it has female emperors plus male emperors. It has female kings plus the Queen of Pentacles with the male kings. So we have the female Emperor with the Two of Swords. So this person thinks that you may be tied down to responsibilities. They may think that there are things that hold you back, like responsibilities, like experience perhaps, or other people's opinions that hold you back and make you passive. They don't expect you to reach out. I feel like you want them to reach out, and they think about it, but because of your position and because of the practical issues at play here, they feel like they cannot. I also feel like they could share some of the same restrictions. I feel like this person considers reaching out to you to be very, very risky, even though they feel the impulse. They feel the impulse to reach out to you too, and that's very mutual here. That's very, very mutual between the two of you. You're picking up on that impulsive desire for contact, but I feel like you feel that too. You're trying to tame that. What's interesting to me is we have the Emperor and the Emperor as well, so that could be very significant to your connection, but there's also this overhauling reality with the Three of Swords that tells me that they don't know if they can create change. And the Four of Swords is them retreating with that sadness, because you can see these three swords floating down representing the Three of Swords, and then the Ace of Swords, which is the truth between the connection. It's the reality that sometimes stings that they're healing from. There could be other people involved here, which would create difficulties in creating change. Yeah, there's the Five of Pentacles. They are really lost, though, when it comes to feeling emotionally fulfilled, like in their present moment, especially when it comes to you. Like, they're really feeling the separation. And the two of you are in the same boat. That's what it feels like. The two of you are in the same boat, and there's an acknowledgement of that. And there's the Judgment. So you have the Judgment. They have the Judgment. And in this Judgment, you can see the Three of Swords has a sword stabbed right into it. You have the Three of Swords. You have the Four of Swords. And it's the reality here. Their judgment that leads them to conclusions that it may not be possible to create solutions here, because I feel like there are present foundations in place for this pile at this moment. And that's what stops the truth from coming forward, because it's too risky for them to show their hand of cards. But they wouldn't be feeling this much pain or loss if you weren't significant to them. So although they are being passive, there is still this codependency between the two of you, but it's almost like there's two spider webs here, and this woman's dress is made out of a toadstool, which is talking about patience needed here, patience being afforded to us and needed to create change, because you've both entered into dynamics that are maybe a little stifling or don't allow free-flowing movement, don't allow free actions. It's attachments to other environments, but it's also the codependency that the two of you share in this connection. And this Two of Swords is passive energy towards you, but trying to block off their heart chakra because they're fearful of taking those risks towards you. How are they currently feeling about pile 3, please? Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. They don't know how to create solutions, and see that they feel really tied up and controlled by their environment or by their choices. And they don't know how to create seamless solutions. But that's the problem, is that we can't always just be looking for seamless solutions. Sometimes we have to be willing to take the steps we're guided to take. We have Ant working an achievement and a success. It's interesting because you guys chose the elephant, which is a female matriarch that runs that group of animals. And then the ant is usually kind of like a bee colony where it's female workers that do the work. There's a sense here of someone having to apply pressure here, someone having to create change. And the masculine energy on this side doesn't feel like they can do that. But they still have that torch. And this connection, I will say, has had a profound influence on this person's ability to even develop their spiritual awareness, because they connect the two of you to some sort of destiny. We have here Carriage, a journey, either physical or mental, and Pale, time to get out of a situation. And that's what you influence, this Devil energy. It's a recognition that I have to do something about my attachments, whether it be my attachment to you, whether it be my attachments that are holding me back, whether it be my fears. I have to do something about this feeling of loss, because it's stifling and it is painful too. And that's the Four of Swords, this necessity for healing. So they are acknowledging the necessity for healing here. We have Horseshoe for good luck on the back of that deck. And I often, will liken the elephant with the trunk in the air as a good luck symbol. And in this case, the elephant is forced to kind of keep its trunk down in order to keep that flame lit. How do they currently feel, please, about pile number 3? We have Yin Yang. It says creating harmony through balance. They do believe that the two of you are spiritually connected, and they've come to that conclusion because of the separation, which is a positive result here. We have Ganesha. You chose the elephant. Here's Ganesha with her trunk down, holding on to the flame, clearing away obstacles, protection, and guidance, not wanting to lose this connection, but not really knowing how to create solutions. And they're kind of stuck in this remembrance of you, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions that can sometimes be very stifling. The purpose of the recurring emotions is to help us create solutions with the Judgment so that we can create new beginnings. But it's like they're stuck at that phase. Whoops. What are their current feelings, please, for pile number 3? I know that I hurt you. And the Three of Swords, there's a lot of pain for them to think that they have hurt you, because of their lack of action or their inability to commit in the past. There could be third party, so take that as it resonates. I'm weighing out my options, the Two of Pentacles. There's an acknowledgement that they're still stuck by this connection, that they're still holding on, and that they are holding space for potential. They just don't know how to create solutions right now. So there's an acknowledgement that they can't do anything about it right now, but they have to, whether it be a detach, whether it be to move on. Your family won't like me. Because of their past or because of their current status, your family won't like them. They're consumed. We have maybe. And I was so unfair to you. It's the Justice reverse. They kind of feel like they're a little bit, it's like it's not a fair situation because this seems destined. It's like things shouldn't be like this between the two of us. And when they think about reaching out to you, they're really on the fence. Again, the Two of Pentacles is about imbalance and trying to restore such balance. And they're really on the fence about creating change here. Sometimes they think that they're more confident than other times to create change or to create some sort of communication with you. I also feel like position here also is weighing in the balance. I feel like whatever position they hold is adding and contributing to their inability to create change because they're worried about people's opinions. Gossip only hurts more. They're worried about other extended opinions coming forward and making them feel even more stagnant. It says, you give me mixed signals is on the back of that deck. So in the past, they could have felt like you gave them some mixed signals. Couple more charm cards here, or some message cards. How are they currently feeling right this moment, please, for pile number 3? We have here, I spend a lot of time daydreaming about you. And I want to call you, but would you answer? So they think about reaching out to you. I have so much that I want to tell you. I know that I messed up back then, and I want to know, is this connection real? Do you feel it too? So your insecurity is their insecurity. They feel that as well. You don't know what you do to me. Back of the deck says, I wish we could turn back time. Let's get a charm bowl for you. Pile number 3. What would your person say to you right this moment in the bowl if they could say anything? Oops, I just lost one. Caught it here. It's the Fool. They were saying that they would take a risk. They would take a leap of faith. That thoughts of you are their constant companion, and they are really worried about what lies in the unknown. But they don't want to give up. That's the thing, is that even though everything tells them to give up and they don't know how to create solutions and they know they need to heal, they don't know how to detach from you. The Ten of Swords is reversed. It's like, as much as their ego says you should give up, you should give up. They're like, I want recovery. I want recovery. There's an exhaustion, though, that's coming in with the Nine of Wands. And they're like, I am holding on, but I'm getting so tired of trying to figure out solutions. It's like they're waiting for a solution to come to them because they don't want to have to take a risk. And that's what they have to do with the Fools. They have to leap to create the solutions, but they're too afraid. And so they're getting a little bit tired holding on to those wands. And it really brings my awareness back to the weathered energy of the elephant, how wrinkled and how weathered she is, that she's been moving through this void for such a long time. It's tiring. We have the letter A. We have here a card. Let's see. We have the Five of Pentacles. So somebody who is very much focused on the loss. We have believe in love. We also have here a stethoscope. So there could be a hospital or nursing connection or a blocked heart chakra. We have the hatchet, and we also have the handsaw. So the need to sever, the need to either release the connection or release the fear, and they don't know which direction to take. We have the Hanged Man here with Jesus on the cross. And I really think about self-suspension. I think about self-sacrifice, where we feel like we're sacrificing our happiness for other realms, but also a victim mentality. We have looking at things from a higher perspective with the owl and the shamanic feather for healing. We have a cupcake, so somebody who wants their cake and eat it too. So I often think about someone who is in a relationship who doesn't want to necessarily take risks in order to enter into another one, even though it's worth it. Here is the honeybee. Again, self-sacrifice, but the sweet results that await us when we serve, the queen, when we serve our environment. We have the rabbit, I think of the Page of Wands, of leaping down new pathways, but this is the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. So it's an energy if I feel like I'm late for something very important. We have the yin yang, and we also have the fairy and the world turning. So unfinished business with someone that I worry it's one-sided, or I worry that it doesn't exist. The feelings aren't completely mutual. That is what I have for you today in the bowl. And if it resonated with you, I would love to hear your story below, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. And if you do drop me your comment, be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link below for Instagram, because I offer a chance to win a reading over there on a monthly basis. And I offer private readings through Etsy, and that link is below. I do post every day, repost my slots, but they have been selling out very quickly. But be sure to check back every day or connect with me on the Etsy platform, and I will try to help you secure a slot. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you have a great week. And I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage.